There you go, Chair.
All right, great. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, so this should be a relatively short meeting. There's not a lot on the agenda, but I think it's important that we still have these on whenever we can. So let's go ahead and get started. Membership updates, Jenny.
Hi, everybody. We have two committee members that are up for renewal. Would be Jeff Trapp and Cody Hunter, are two public members. They have both indicated to me that yes, they would like to renew for another 4-year term. So the only thing is required is I'll send a communication to the Board of Commissioners, letting them know that both public members would like to renew for another term. And then the Board of Commissioners will make that decision. And then that would be the end. If they choose not to have those two folks renew, then they would be required to open the position to solicit new public members. But honestly, I don't see any reason for a change because both Jeff and Cody have been regularly attending, which I will note in the communication to the Board of Commissioners. So nothing, no action is needed by the committee today.
Would you anticipate that process to be complete before our next meeting?
Yes, it should be, because once I send them a communication, they only meet twice a month, and then it will just catch whatever that next agenda timeframe is.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, there were no minutes available from our last meeting, which was in May.
Yep, my apologies. My bandwidth has been really thin of late with radio communication. The recording is available and on the website, so that serves at least the information is available.
Okay. Are there any additions to the agenda? Okay, quarterly ASA reports. So we didn't have any reports for April and to June. So I guess there's nothing there at this point.
And those are the provider concerns or accommodation of service. So those are not the compliance reports.
Right. Board of Supervisor communications. Any updates from the ASA ordinance recommendations? I think we're kind of past that at this point, aren't we?
Yeah, to my knowledge, we have not received any conclusion or verification of what changes were actually made to the ordinance based on the recommendations from this committee.
All right. Chief Dahlman, ATAB committee reports.
Sure, I attended virtually the last one. There's a couple of things going on with ATAB. They're trying to work with, well, the biggest thing that we had was a giant presentation on spinal immobilization use of backboards. And it actually looks like we will be able to throw away 90% of our backboards at some point in time here. So they're bringing that through the ATAB committees all around the state. The OHA is giving the presentation out, and then they'll make some modifications to different things that they can do, and then send it out for everybody to look at their physician protocols and make those types of changes. It's just a standard of care that's pretty much changed nationwide, well, worldwide, nationwide especially, a lot of studies. That's probably the biggest one that went on there. They reviewed a couple of larger mass casualty events. Well, I won't say events, but basically what happened on I-5, a couple of crashes up there, and talked about communications between on-scene and hospitals and how to make that a little bit better. That's about all that from ATAB.
Okay, if it's moving forward with the backboard thing, I know that's been coming down the road for quite a while. We need to make sure we get communications out to both our emergency department physicians and the nursing staff to hospitals, so their expectations change also.
Yep, and they're all represented on ATAB and the State Trauma Advisory Board also. So
Okay,
that should come from within their own organization, probably not from us.
Okay. All right, thanks, Rob. Any questions for Rob on that? Okay, compliance reporting. Quarterly response times reporting. We didn't have anything for May or June. What month is this, Jenny? This is April. So those numbers look pretty consistent with what we've been seeing ongoing. And if Jeff was here, we could ask him, if he's having better luck with staffing and things like that, and if that's going to be helping the response times. Any questions on that from anyone?
No, I can tell our agency helps them out. Every month we're using our ambulance for usually between 6 or 7 transports a month. I know that my board report today is going to report that last month we were utilized 7 times. That doesn't forgive them in their compliant responses, because it makes us kind of a subcontractor for them. So our response times fall into those same compliance reports.
Okay. Anything else on compliance reporting?
This is Shelby with South Lincoln Ambulance. We had one call in there in which WVCC didn't get our on-scene time. They got our arrival on scene at the hospital instead of our on scene with the patient.
Okay.
I guess one more thing I'd add, Jeff, is I'm curious as to now that we have made within the ASA plan mandatory that they have mobile dispatch terminals in all their vehicles, and they don't have to rely on the dispatch center. They push the button. Has that improved our response times here, or what's going on? I guess that's a question for Jeff mainly, but I guess you also, Shelby, are you guys utilizing MDTs, and that would have solved that problem that you just mentioned?
We are not. And I don't believe it's mandatory that I've read.
It is in the new plan that was put in there. There's, if you have an iPad, you can download the program on there and get the access code from WVCC and not have to pay them a licensing fee whatsoever. So for $1,000, you can get an MDT in your ambulance.
So that might be a good follow-up for our next meeting is both for all of our providers, just check in and see if that's been implemented and make sure we're in compliance with the plan. Okay, anything else under compliance reporting? Anything else?
Chair, this is Jay. I
Yes.
just want to note that in the email that I sent out, I did include it here so everyone has it in their email. South Lincoln Ambulance did provide what they have for their quarterly report.
Okay, thank you.
It's not a required report, but each of the ambulance service providers generally do their own report.
Okay. Okay, any other items for the group for this meeting? Okay, do we have any action items that we brought out, Jay?
No, no other items for this meeting other than making sure that I attach the files from South Lincoln Ambulance to the website for the additions to this packet.
Okay, great. Okay, if there's nothing else, then I think we're ready to adjourn until our November 14th meeting.
Hey, Jeff, this is Rob. I have one more thing just to bring up. I guess I'm good at the order type of thing is North Lincoln Fire has purchased a second ambulance. It's licensed by the Oregon Health Authority. We've been using it. So that puts 2 more that are non-ASA provider units out there. We've reached out to the hospital here in Lincoln City to let them know our availability for interfacility transfer work. Have not received anything back from them. I know they're still consistently calling Grand Ron Tribal and Southwest Polk to come over, trying to reach out and get that money to stay in the county, since we're using that money can help pay back the funds that we used to purchase that vehicle. So, but again, we have 2 units here that are licensed, and we have staffing most of the time that we can get them out the door when needed.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Rob. And thank the rest of your organization for that, because that's a big assist for the county. All right, anything else before we adjourn? Okay, well, thank you, everybody, and we will be talking to you in November. Thanks, Jenny.
Yep, thanks, Jeff. And I'll keep you and Cody posted about your renewals.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Jenny.